Coast Technology Group is your full IT managed service provider, utilizing simple, reliable technology for your home and business. Remote monitoring and management, network infrastructure, and cybersecurity, all with 24/7, 365-day live support. When you partner with CTG, you get the 150 years combined experience of our experts, helping your business grow while keeping your systems secure.
Well, welcome to the Sunday edition of the live Texas Weather Lab. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Bowling. Thank you once again for hopping in here and enjoying it and joining us on this Sunday evening to talk a little bit about what we saw last night and also what we've got ahead. Yes, we do have more rain chances on the way. Some of that could be locally heavy at times as far as any severe threat. Looks like that is going to be quite a bit lower. Not to say we're going to go without, but there is the possibility that we could see some spotty, stronger storms as we go through maybe Tuesday evening. But the bigger story will be just more rain. I don't know how much we'll get a chance to allow for the rain to really settle down and sink into the ground, especially when you consider areas around I-44 and Highway 81 picked up around 2 to 3 inches of rain, even heavier out towards I-35. So we've got a chance for more rain, and that could mean some more flooding concerns around the creeks, streams, and rivers, and some of the lakes. So that's what we're going to be watching for. It is better than the alternative of dealing with the drought. So that at least sets us up a little bit better heading into the summertime. Now, I want to talk about, again, those folks that make this a free resource for you as we go through the severe weather season. So I want to give a big thanks and big shout out, as always, to Ms. Kim Thomas and the Kim Thomas Real Estate Team for supporting the Texas Weather Lab and making this the resource that it is for you during the severe weather season. Maybe you're getting in the market for your dream home. Maybe you're trying to list your home. Maybe it is PCS season here for our military. You're looking to either find a new place or list yours as well. She helps our military. She's been here 20 years, knows this market like the back of her hand. So give her a call, 580-704-9916, or stop by at 1701 Northwest Cash Road, or hop online at KimThomasRealEstateTeam.com. Again, severe weather season means you've got claims. You've dealt with some significant winds. You've dealt with some damage to your house, your car, anything like that. Maybe you're looking to upgrade or change your policy. Maybe you've got a new driver in the house. My friend Vincent Saylor here wants to help you with that. He's a State Farm agent right here in town, 2401 West Gore Boulevard, the green and glass old style gas station looking building right next to Wright's Donuts. He wants to help you out. Give him a call at 580-699-2771 or visit VF Saylor, Saylor Insurance.com. Of course, we want to always thank the great folks at the Coast Technology Group for always supporting this stream and making it what it is, the resource for the technology needs for the Texas Weather Lab. Maybe you've got an auditorium space you're trying to get hooked up for audio. Maybe you've got a conference room you're trying to get ready for teleconferences. You've got your home office you're trying to get squared away. You've got issues with your computers. Maybe you're just trying to get the man cave set up. Whatever you've got, hit up my folks here at the Coast Technology Group, downtown Lawton. Reach out at 580-357-4482. They'll get you hooked up. And of course, if you can never catch my forecast here live, you can always hear it every day on the Town Square media stations here in the Lawton area. That's Z94, KLaw 101, and 107.3 Pop Crush. You'll hear my forecast every time during the week. Keep you updated on that forecast as we go through the spring season. Now, let's take a look back at what we managed to pick up today. And again, a lot of that heavy rainfall was done by about 5 o'clock this morning. Lots of clouds, lots of winds to start the day, but hopefully it didn't ruin your Easter plans. I know we had to keep the Easter egg hunt inside for the kids, but they still enjoyed it. We had a lot of standing water around across a good chunk of the area, so we really didn't get a chance to get them outside and get out there. So kept the inside Easter egg hunt, so hopefully it didn't mess with your plans out there. It did turn into a nice day for the afternoon, 66 for a high in Lawton, 68 Wichita Falls after starting out in the 50s. Far off from those records, but look at the rainfall again. We picked back up to a surplus again, around 6 inches of rainfall in the Lawton area. That puts us over 2/3 for the year so far. Wichita Falls faring better, 7 1/3 inches of rainfall there, around an inch and a quarter on a surplus there. And Sabine hopping in here said West Side had 2.5 inches of rain. That sounds about right. Yeah, we did pick up at least 2 inches of rain across the Lawton area. So depending on where you were in town, you did see maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. If you were out towards the east a little bit more, yeah, you saw quite a bit more of that rainfall. But again, take a look at some of the rainfall totals from the weekend. Again, you could see the refuge didn't really pick up all that much at around an inch, but you get out towards the west, Altus, Hobart, Mangum, Hollis, picking up around 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of rain. That was it. Some rain off towards their north, mainly off towards the east. So those areas could definitely use a lot more rainfall, but it was squeezed out here. I-44, Highway 81, especially Interstate 35, as you go from around Ardmore up through Ada and up towards Muskogee and Tulsa. That's where you started to see that ribbon of heavier rainfall. Those areas around Ardmore picking up around 4 to 6 inches of rainfall just over the last 24 hours. And obviously they had to deal with quite a bit more than just heavy rainfall as well. So let me hop off of here and let me hop back on here. This is going through some of those storm reports from the last 24 hours. And you might have seen some pictures or some posts from around the Bowie area. There were some tornado reports as that crossed Highway 287 here. Again, that was from Montague County, Texas. A little bit of damage there with the tornado going right through there, passing by Nakona, and then heading up here into Love County. You can see right up there into the Grady area, Courtney, up towards Post Oak. This stayed just to the east of the folks in Jefferson County. And then you notice it got up into the Lone Grove and Ardmore areas here with a couple of more tornado warnings. So it kind of branched off. One went up north towards the Wilson and Hilton area. One broke off and headed towards the east through Lone Grove and northern parts of Ardmore. But the bigger story there was the stronger winds and the hail. There were 2-inch hail reports in Lone Grove, and the blue box you see right here over Ardmore, that is an 80-mile-per-hour measured wind coming through there. So some wind damage there in the Ardmore area. And then this storm continued on past Sulphur on up into Ada, where we did see some damage from a tornado that went right through there. So there was a debris signature that popped up on that storm and did cause some damage there through parts of Ada before that storm continued on. And there was another tornado that dropped down just outside of Lake Texoma there off towards the east of I-35. So those were the storms that we saw last night. Again, not expecting much in the way of severe weather, not completely done with it, but not anything significant or that throws up alarm bells here heading into the bulk of this week. Now, again, as we were getting ready to head out the door in the morning, you're going to have some fog to contend with. You might have noticed my message that went out here. It's some patchy, dense fog, especially those areas that picked up a lot more of the rainfall. So Interstate 44, Highway 81, Interstate 35, going to see some of that more dense fog first thing in the morning. So if you are heading to the office in the morning, I know some folks have the Easter holiday off. I know a lot of school districts are off for observance of Easter for tomorrow. But if you are heading into the office, take it slow out there through about 9-10 o'clock in the morning as that dense fog settles in. But once that lifts, we do expect to see plenty of sunshine. Highs in the mid 70s to low 80s across a great deal of the area. Now, Tuesday, it's going to be dry, a little bit more sunshine, some scattered clouds across the area. We do expect to see temperatures there more into the low to mid 80s across the area. So there is going to be a chance at some storms trying to develop there. And it looks like we will see some of those storms trying to get going as we go through the overnight hours, especially out west is going to be the best chance at seeing them early on. And then that spreads over the rest of the area heading into the evening hours. So temperatures will be dropping down there into the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. The best chance for severe weather would be out towards the west, but most of Texoma up to around Ardmore and the Marietta area is currently under a level 1 marginal risk, mainly for some small hail and some brief gusty winds. The stronger storms, as you mentioned, or as I mentioned, out towards Mangum, Hollis, and maybe around the Elmer area points towards the west. Those initial storms that get going will have the risk at some larger hail and some slightly stronger winds heading into Tuesday night. Now, throughout the day, Wednesday, we do expect to see more widespread, some locally heavy rainfall sticking around here as well. So, possibility here through the entirety of this week is that we're going to see an additional 3 to 4 inches of rainfall on top of what we've already seen. So, again, a lot of these areas for the week could be seeing anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of rain. So that's a lot of water coming down in a short amount of time. So a lot of our lakes and streams are going to be rising across the area, and a lot of the yards are going to be fairly soggy as well. So your Wednesday forecast kind of bleeds over into Thursday, over into Friday, and parts of Saturday and Sunday. So we do have numerous days of rain and storms on the way here. And again, here is your 7-day forecast as brought to you by the wonderful folks at Coast Technology Group. This is brought to you every week by them. Again, 76 degrees here tomorrow with plenty of sunshine after that foggy start. We do get back into the low to mid 80s on Tuesday, but we're watching those evening storm chances coming up there as well. And then off and on storms coming up for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then more scattered in nature Saturday and Sunday as temperatures remain fairly consistent into the mid and upper 70s all the way through the end of the week. So that's what we're watching for as we go towards the tail end of the upcoming work week. Now, Rick is hopping in. Hey, Rick, good to see you as always. So my boss said, be ready for Tuesday. I said, what's up Tuesday? He said, bad weather. I said, let me check with my homie Austin. I got you, Rick. Guess Tuesday it is. So yes, I mentioned, yes, we are looking at some stronger storms, but in comparison to what we've seen earlier this weekend, really not really expecting much. Again, the initial storms out west, yeah, Panhandles, Elk City, Sayre, Mangum, Hollis, Duke, Elmer, down through Quanah and Kroll, Texas. This may shift a little bit towards the east a little bit more, but right now, not as significant of a setup here. So still need to watch the hail and the winds as we go towards Tuesday. Yes, but more heavy rain and some gusty winds will be the primary threats here, Rick, as we go through that Tuesday timeframe. So the next opportunity for storms will be Tuesday. Yes. Will it be like we've seen the past couple of days here in Oklahoma? Not quite. So again, I'll keep my eyes on it, but again, not getting up to the levels that we've seen the past couple of nights here, but we'll be watching out for that for sure. Just a lot of heavy rain. The big story is going to be the fact that it's just going to be fairly soggy over the next several days. So we do get the dry day here Monday, most of Tuesday, and then it's Tuesday evening. We start to see those storms developing in that yellow shaded area out towards the west. And then that really sets the stage for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, on through the weekend. So it is going to be fairly soggy through the upcoming week. So hopefully you haven't put away the rain boots or the umbrella or the rain jackets just yet. Keep it right by the front door. You might not need it here Monday and Tuesday, but for sure Wednesday through the rest of the week. And it is going to be fairly soggy. Again, additional 3 to possibly 5 inches of rain, depending on where you are. It's going to completely scrub out any drought that we've seen or whatever is left of it here across Texoma. So, again, some great news there. Hopefully we don't see anything in the way of the flash flooding that we had to contend with up in Oklahoma City, unfortunately, where folks did lose their lives being swept off the roadways up there. So, again, anytime you come across these flooded roadways, I don't know how many times you've driven over that road. You can't see underneath the surface of that water. So I'm just begging you, the next time you've got water over the roadways, try and find another route to go around. You always want to turn around, don't drown. So especially at night when you really can't gauge the depth of that water, you can't tell what's in there or what's not there. The road may have been washed away. So again, anytime we've got these covered up roads with water, try and find another way so that you can stay safe during those events. So again, appreciate everybody as always for hopping in and joining the forecast here on Sunday evenings. Again, the next one will be coming up here on Wednesday evening. Obviously, it looks like right now another chance at some widespread rainfall, maybe a few rumbles, but it would be more of that heavy rainfall threat that we're watching for. It would be more of the rumbles to kind of lull you to sleep a little bit. So hopefully a little less hair raising as we go through the upcoming work week. So hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. Hope everybody has a great back to work here on Monday if you have to go back to the office. But until then, be safe going back to work on Tuesday. And then I will see you on Wednesday. Appreciate you as always, folks. Thank you.